The guy said he was mowing it with a 60-inch zero turn, and he said it takes him about an hour, but by the time we got done, it took us a little over 15 minutes to do. I'm Aaron Graber with Ventrac, and in this video, we're going to go over our wide area mower on sports fields. In this video, we're going to show clips from sports fields that we've been on personally with this equipment, and we're going to talk about some of the things we've noticed while using it. The first thing I can remember is that nearly every one of these properties that we show up to, there's some sort of turf manager or grounds care supervisor that's come out and talked to us before we get started, and we usually get into the conversation of how long this job normally takes. On the one football field we went to, the guy said he was mowing it with a 60-inch zero turn. Which may not be typical, but nonetheless, that's what he was using. And he said it takes him about an hour, but by the time we got done, it took us a little over 15 minutes to do. And if you can imagine saving 45 minutes of that guy's time in that particular application, what else could he be doing after that, or what other jobs could he be doing? It's because of these time savings that this equipment raises eyebrows with turf managers. The number one thing that they're concerned about today, and for the foreseeable future, is labor. How many people can they get to come to work? How long are those people working? How much do they have to pay them? It is by far and away their biggest expense and the hardest thing that they have to deal with. Using equipment like our wide area mower doesn't eliminate labor, but it does reduce the amount of labor and makes the labor that you do have more available for other tasks around the property. When I'm mowing these properties myself, I have a lot of time to think. And as I'm mowing, I'm thinking and looking at other things around the property going, I could do that job next, or I could do that job next. I would just have to switch to this attachment. And when you see the Ventrac in action, turf managers across the board think and see the same thing. There's a mower deck on it now, and it's mowing that sports field incredibly fast. It looks really good, but when it's done, I could switch to the broom, or I could use the stump grinder, or I could grab that trencher. Their wheels start turning and they realize that the value of having it on a Ventrac blows any other equipment out of the water. One of the most unique features of this wide area mower is that cut height can be changed in the field by the operator in less than a minute with no tools, which means that you can use it in one space that requires a certain cut height and then drive it directly to the next place that might need a different cut height. That's something that turf managers value immensely, because usually when you're talking about wide area equipment, it's hit or miss whether you're going to have to send the machine back to the shop and get a mechanic involved. The machine in the shop is not productive at all, whether it takes minutes or hours. But you don't have to worry about any of that with the Ventrac wide area mower. One of the things I really like demoing about this deck in person is the flip up feature. It's another one of those maintenance things that people really appreciate because they know how hard it is to get underneath most equipment. All of our decks flip up from the front of the machine, so you have easy access for service and maintenance. In the field, I have the ability to do this with our optional hydraulic flip-up kit, and anybody that's watching that as a demo is always like, wow, that is so incredible. That'll save our guys so much time. On these shoots, we always try to make sure we get the grounds crew either on the machine or close enough to the machine to see what's going on. And there's a few things they always point out. First of all, they notice the aesthetic of this deck. So it has a full-length steel rear roller, and that provides an incredible stripe. On any sports field that you're talking about, that's one of those things that people notice every time. The fans love it, the players love it, the people who manage the grounds, they just love how good everything looks when you use this deck to cut the field. They also notice that since it's a rear discharge, all of those clippings are trailing the mower deck and going right back into the turf. That means there's less cleanup after the fact because you're not getting clippings on the track or anywhere else that you don't want them. Because the deck has very good sight lines both to the left and right of the machine, and it's in front of the operator, you can see exactly where the deck is tracking, so you can overlap less than with other equipment, therefore being more efficient, again, saving time. And the final common thread that all operators notice is that the whole package is very compact and maneuverable. Even though you're working on a sports field, oftentimes there's fences or there's other things on the side and the edges of the fields that you have to avoid when you're turning around. With the Ventrac wide area mower, you're potentially half the footprint of some other wide area mowers, and it just makes this process of maneuvering around everything so much easier. On rare occasion, we've showed up on site, but the weather hasn't cooperated, and we've still been able to do the work. That's actually something that's fairly common for grounds managers though, especially in springtime where the grass is growing quickly and they need to get those fields maintained. Sometimes it's raining too often or too much, and they can't send other equipment out there without risking significant damage to the turf. But as everyone knows, the Ventrac is phenomenal in wet conditions and they don't have to worry about that. When we're out using this thing, we hear it time and time again. The wide area mower is something that grounds managers can justify all by itself. And then when you throw in the fact that the tractor can run all of the other Ventrac attachments, the value is impossible to ignore. So that was a lot of talking and a lot of video footage, but if you only get one thing out of this video, when it comes to managing professional turf on sports fields, if you're using a Ventrac wide area mower, it's faster, you're saving labor, and it looks amazing. Thanks for watching this video about the Ventrac wide area mower. If you have any specific questions on this mower or any of our other equipment, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I'll respond directly. Also, if you want to try this mower or you're interested in buying one, make sure you reach out to your local Ventrac dealer, and you can find out who that is on our website at the Ventrac dealer locator. Visit ventrac.com and check out all of our other products. And we're back. Mark's question of the day is, if you saw me, Aaron, walking down the street and you could ask me any question in person, what would it be? Leave it in the comments below and I'll answer it.